Hello, my name is Ethan Condon, and I am taking a computer science and software engineering course as part of the Career and Technical Education program at the Gull Lake High School. Today I will show you some of the things I have learned that professionals use in industry while being a developer. So, I'm just going to show you some things that we've been working on in class, been doing stuff, some of our commits, and some of our code. Alright, so first thing we're starting off, import sys and import time. And imports the sys module for the system-specific parameters and functions, and then time and imports the time module to handle timing events like delays. These things basically just stating what colors are given them, the color ID, and then this just says which ones are which. So this will reset the color to default. You got bright green, red, yellow, bright cyan, fun stuff. So then we got a print statement here, and it'll say in green, welcome to Infotech Center version 1.0, and then it'll do reset for the next line of text. Alright, next we got time to sleep equals 1.5. It's a variable to see the time library, to set the time library to 1.5 seconds when called, and then time not sleep, and then in parentheses time to sleep. It calls the sleep library with a variable time to sleep's value. So these basically just tell you that this variable is equal to 0 and this variable is equal to 0 initially. Alright, next thing we got is while loop. So it's basically saying while x is not equal to 20, which 0 here, then run this over and over again. Every single time it runs it, it's going to add 1, and it's going to equal to 1. So once it runs once, it'll add 1 the next time it goes over, the next time it goes over, the next time it goes over. Alright, now I got another little variable thing here called message, and basically says print this in yellow, Infotech Center system booting plus dot times ellipsis. So it'll take the dot and it'll multiply it by ellipsis, the variable, which is 0 in this case, and then plus reset, which will just reset the color for the next line of text. And then it'll add 1 to the ellipsis, just like we did with the x. And then this basically just says, hey, go over the same line again. Every single time you print this, go over the exact same line. Don't go under it. Don't go over it. Go on this exact same line. And then it sleeps for 0.5 seconds, the next iteration. And I've got a little if-then statement here. So if the ellipsis is equal to 4, then make it equal to 0. So once it hits a value of 4, it'll be reset to 0. Which means this dot resets. And then if x is equal to 20, then print operating system booting up, retina scan access granted in red. So once this thing goes through 20 times, it'll print this and it'll stop this. Alright, let's look at a little demonstration. Yippee! It's green, yellow, red. It's got all the right text and did a little dot 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 thing. So that was our welcome screen, a little thing. Open the program, this is the first thing you would see. Alright, so next we're going to look at the weather branch. So right now we just got a lot of stars, print a lot of stars for separation, and it'll print weather branch. And these little \n's are just things that are saying, hey, put a space under here. It's like hidden enter on a Google Doc. It basically does the same thing. Then you got the import random from time import sleep, so it imports necessary libraries for selecting random weather conditions and sleep for adding delays. So this would be for anything picking from like a random list, which we'll get to in a second, and then time for sleepy. Alright, so got a function here. It's a function, it's all fun. Basically what it states is that this variable weather forecast is equal to the list snowy, blizzard, rainy, windy, icy, and sunny. And you can tell it's a list because of these little square brackets, which is fun. And then it'll return a random choice from the random thing up here that we have, random choice, in the weather forecast, from this list. So we'll randomly select that, and then we take another variable, and it's going to equal the function of weather. So it'll store any the only random thing that it picks, the first one that it picks, so it doesn't keep on picking random ones over and over again. Alright, here we got a dictionary, hard to explain. Let's read this. Define a dictionary mapping weather conditions to our alarm updates and speed limits. So basically, um, if it's snowy, it'll have a delay equal to 30, and then a speed equal to 55. And if it's a blizzard, delay 50, speed 45, so on and so on. And you can tell it's a little dictionary because these little curly brackets, the fun little guys. Alright, then we define things. We define vehicle response system, or the VRS. Um, so another function. Uh, and it says if weather alert and weather responses. So if the weather alert is in the weather responses dictionary thing. So if this icy is in here, do that. Sunny is not in here, and we'll get to that in a second. Um, yeah, so if weather alert and weather responses, then response equals weather responses, and then in brackets weather alert. So like this says up here, I retrieve the delay and speed for the current weather conditions. Alright, so the next thing is just printing a bunch of stuff. So the national weather alert has been updated by response delay. So response, the vehicle response, and weather alert from here. Um, so it'll be like 30 minutes if it's snowy, due to snowy weather. And then I'm gonna ignore that. It'll sleep for a second, so it'll pause for a second, and then it'll print VRS system has been engaged, only allowing you to drive blank miles per hour. So if it's snowy, it'll be 55 miles per hour. This thing. Yeah, fun. And then here we get to the else. So as I've said, there is no sunny thing in the dictionary. Uh, Here's why. It makes things more simple. It makes things easier. Yippee. So there's a little else statement here, and it's default case for sunny or other non-listed weather conditions. So it'll print the National Weather Service is calling for sunny skies. Drive carefully to get to your destination, and then sleep for 1 second. And the VRS has been disengaged. If I can talk. Yeah, fun stuff. And then we got a little thing down here just to call this, so it'll print everything. It'll do everything that this says since it's a function. It's like a little, um, what would that be called? It's a program inside of the program. Alright, anyway, we're gonna try this. F10. We got the weather branch, we got the stars. National Weather Service has been updated by alarm by 50 minutes because of the forecast of blizzard weather conditions. Uh-oh. VRS system has been engaged, only allowing you to drive 45 miles per hour. Fun. Let's do it again. Oh, 30 minutes because of snowy weather conditions. I can only drive 55. Yeah, so we do that for every single one. Test that, just to make sure it works. And then we call it stable. Alright, last piece of code. We got the import random from time import sleep stuff. Already went over that. This, so you can choose random thing from a list. This for sleep, for delay or whatever. This simulates gas level gauge by randomly choosing a random gas level from a list. So got a little function here to find gas level gauge. And it has a little list here, and then it'll return the random choice from this list, like we have done before with the weather thing. And then this little fun thing basically does the exact same thing, but instead it's for, obviously, gas stations instead of gas level. Alright, and then we got another function thing here, and it stores all of this, and it just says, hey, this is equal to this, this is equal to this. and we call it later. Alright, we got ourselves a little teeny dictionary looking thing here because they're curly brackets. So distance to gas station based on gas level. So if you get like low on the list, which would be here, um, we'll get to the round thing in a bit. It'll choose a random number, random uniform, from 1 to 25, and then round it to the 10th place. So it'd be like 1.5 to 24.9 or 25. It's just so you get a number that's not like 1.3765892. And then we do the same thing for this one, but it's quarter tank, so you get to go further. So it's 25.1 to 50. Don't know why we did point 0.1, but you know we did. Rounds to the 10th place. So, fun. And we got another little dictionary. This one responses. The first one we looked at distance. This one responses. So response to empty, low, quarter tank, half tank, 3/4, full tank. You can read these. I'm not going to because it takes way too gosh darn long. Yeah. Okay, and this just prints whatever you get from here. So if you get empty from the gas level indicator, which is the gas level gauge, which is this thing, this little function, then it'll print it. It'll print whatever one I just looked at. I kind of forgot. So this is something ChatGPT added because I think they added this. Add a slight delay to mimic real-time process. Just makes it a little bit more interesting. So if it's empty, low, or quarter tank, it'll sleep for 1 second because it's thinking, you know. Alright, and this last stuff down here is the stars. Because separation. And then it'll do like a little enter thing, a gasoline, put a space under it, and then it'll call gas level alert, which talked about here, gas level alert, and it'll take everything here and call it down there. So let's look at this in action. Your gas tank is 3/4 full. Wow. Gas tank is 1/4 of a tank. Checking GPS for a gas station. The closest gas station is Shell, which is 42.6 miles away. That's pretty far away. So yeah, again, you just test it. You do all these tests, make sure everything works, and then you call it stable. All right, now that we've checked out all our code, we looked, seen that everything's running. We gotta merge it to our beta test dev, to see if everything runs right all together. So you would right click on beta test dev here, and it says merge beta test dev into gasoline. We don't want that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna double click beta test dev, and then right click on gasoline and merge gasoline into beta test dev. And it's gonna say a file conflict was made, and we'll get to that in a second. Alright, so we gotta look at these conflicts. So first thing we see is this random thing up here called head. We don't want that. We don't know what that does. We don't want that. It's just saying, hey, this is the top of the code, which we already know, and we don't need it. So bye-bye. We start looking down here. We start trying to look for anything that's out of the blue. Oh, there's a bunch of equal signs. That looks weird. I don't want that there. I'm going to remove it. And we're going to scroll down a little bit more. Sometimes it'll randomly jumble up your code, so you got to test this every once in a while. And then you got like the ending thing. Ending is gasoline. It's telling you, hey, this is where all the code ends. This is where gasoline ends. I don't need that there. It already knows that the code's ending because there's no more code. So, kind of unnecessary. It's also really confusing to the thing because it's a bunch of random less than and greater than signs, plus words that it has no idea what they are. Alright, and what we're going to do here is we're just going to look at our code, see if we want to change anything. I see that I have these things, import random, and from time import sleep that I've already put on other parts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to control X this. Just kind of stick it up here. Alright, we're going to have to control C that and I accidentally did something weird. or control exit. And we're gonna put it up here. So now it'll run for the entire line of code, the entire thing, instead of just restating it over and over again in different sections of the code. And then, my favorite part, we gotta test it. So, I gotta wait a century for this to load. Yay. Alright, so this works. This is always gonna work. There's no chance that it won't work. Well, there is a chance, but it's slim. We got the little stars. It says Weather Branch, National Weather Service has updated our alarm by 50 minutes because of the forecast of icy weather conditions. And then I have a full tank. Sick. So you do that like 50 times. Test the code. And yeah. So now that we've fixed all the conflicts, we're gonna mark all as resolved and commit and merge. And it's not gonna give us anything, cause we got rid of everything that was kind of iffy. So we got a little check mark by beta test dev and merge brands gasoline into beta test dev. Alright, last thing we're gonna do is put our beta test dev into our main because it's our main branch and everything kind of needs to go into here, in order for it to be sent out into the different devices, different platforms, I guess you could call it. So make sure you double click main. Always be on the thing that you're trying to merge the thing, like something into. And then right click beta test dev and it'll say merge beta test dev into main. Always make sure it says that and don't click whatever this button is, nor this button. You should click this and there should be no conflicts. If there are conflicts, you're gonna have to change that, you're gonna have to fix it. But fun. Alright, last thing we're gonna show you, before I let you go, is my little backup stuff in my GitHub. So this is all my code that I have for the main branch, and everything should be in here from the gas to the weather, and then to the welcome screen. All stored in a little GitHub. And this is always good to have because if you lose your code or something, this is stored across like every platform. So you just gotta sign into your account and you can just copy and paste this in anywhere. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'm glad you stuck through the entire video. And I'll see you guys later.